So it is spooky season. And if you don't know me, I am into all things creepy, horror, gory. I love horror movies. Like my perfect Valentine's date would be like a horror movie and some chocolate. You know what I'm saying? So naturally, I want to get scared with y'all. Okay, so we did some reacting to some gym fail videos. So now we gonna be reacting to some scary animations. Are you as excited as I am? I can't even speak right now. I can't even speak right now. Like I am getting chills right now. Okay, so I want everybody to like. I hope y'all not watching this at night, but I watched some of these at night, and girl, I could not sleep. I had nightmares. These things creepy as hell. So I'm gonna do this little series on my channel from now on. So let me know if you like that. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new here. Let's get into this video. Y'all ready? I am shivering already. Okay, because these animations look amazing. So I found this one that I want to record a reaction to, which is called Thriller Teller. So here's the page. I will leave all that in the description box below if you want to watch them. All credit goes to them. Honestly, I'm so excited for this. Are y'all ready? Driving alone at night horror story.
I have always been a very daring woman. Driving alone at night, even after midnight,
Why?
had never been a problem for me
You just asked for
until
it now.
that night. I was driving back from a friend's housewarming party. It was around midnight, and there were hardly any cars on the road. I wasn't familiar with the area since it was a newly constructed housing estate, and found myself kind of lost.
I mean, it was
I
one road,
stopped
but
my car
okay.
at the side of the road to double check the directions on my phone, when suddenly I was jolted by a knock on my window.
Oh god.
Could you please help me?
No?
My baby had an accident. Please hurry up. I need a lift to the nearest hospital, please. She's bleeding. My heart sank. I could hear her baby crying from a distance. I told the woman not to worry. We'll take her to the hospital on time.
Hell nah.
I got out of the car in panic and followed the
Would y'all get out the car? Like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I'd be like, 911? We gonna call 911 together. My ass ain't getting out that car.
woman. Please hurry up.
I'll take my damn time.
As we were going deeper and deeper in the woods, I could hear the baby crying louder and louder. Please hurry up.
Girl,
We're nearly there.
you don't get your hurry up ass out here.
I was following her in panic when suddenly
Why would you leave your
my
baby?
leg got really
So far
badly
from the road.
scratched by
I
a
don't
tree
understand.
branch. I stopped for a minute to check if my leg was okay. But then I lost sight of the woman.
Oh no. Where's she at?
Hey! Hello? Hello? I could see the woman nowhere. All I could hear was the baby crying.
Goddamn.
It seemed that she was nearby. I started searching for them, but I couldn't find her anywhere. Instead,
Oh.
I found something else.
Oh no, what is that? What? It is a record. Keep out. It says keep out. What?
I started running towards my car in sheer panic. I could hear the footsteps following me.
Oh, this music. Oh my god.
I ran for my life as fast as I could. I had left the car unlocked, so I quickly sat inside and locked the doors. But I couldn't find the car keys. I was afraid I dropped them while running in panic.
Oh god.
What happened? Did you lose your car keys? Let me go find them for you.
Oh good.
I grabbed my phone and quickly called the police.
I feel like that should have been done from
I was
the
waiting
get-go.
impatiently for the police to come, and the woman was nowhere to be seen. My heart started racing when a few minutes later, I saw the woman approaching my car with the car keys.
She has the keys. Bro, she gonna get your ass. She gonna get you. There's blood on the knife. Yeah, bitch, what? What?
As soon as she heard the sirens, she ran away. The police couldn't find the woman anywhere, as if she disappeared in thin air. I was escorted home safely that night. I was so lucky that I survived that night from that crazy woman. That experience has taught me to never trust any stranger no matter what.
Call?
And I don't even think
911.
about driving alone that late at night again.
Yeah, girl, you learned your lesson. Ooh, that was creepy. Okay. Just want to read some of the comments. Let's see what they wrote. I would have suspected something right away. Who leaves their baby in the forest alone? That's what I said. Woman, hey, follow me into these dark woods alone in the middle of the night. Girl, okay, cool. Like, girl, you ain't learned. Your mama ain't teach you nothing. Not everything we see in sleep paralysis is a hallucination.
My name is Amber, and ever
Amber.
since my childhood, I've experienced sleep paralysis a lot more than the average person. And let's just say, it's one of the most unpleasant things you can experience. Since childhood, I've always had vivid hallucinations when I was experiencing sleep paralysis, and they've always scared me, even to this day. This story is one of the most terrifying things that have and ever will happen to me in my lifetime.
Okay. Okay, Amber.
It all
Tell your
started
story.
in late January. I had just moved into this new house in a small village on the island of Hawaii. My house was near a deep pond, and I got it for a good deal because it was supposedly haunted, and no one else wanted to purchase it. But I've never really believed in the paranormal or anything like that, so I just saw the good deal on a decent-sized house and took it.
Yeah, fair.
A few weeks after buying the house, a big snowstorm hit one night.
They have snow in Hawaii?
Causing the power to go out and snowing me in. I couldn't see a thing, so I decided that I would head to bed early and get an early start on unloading boxes the next day.
Kind of weird.
I
You
hopped
didn't
into
want
bed,
some candles?
pulled my blankets
Make sure
over me,
everything's
and
good?
fell asleep in the pitch black room. I woke up to the noise of tapping at my window. I tried to get up but realized I couldn't move at all. Sleep paralysis took over my whole body.
Girl.
The strange boy kept staring at me. His
What you looking
eyes
at?
were pitch black as if he had no pupils.
You ugly.
He had a wide, inhuman, devilish grin, and his teeth were huge. I was terrified and wanted to scream, but I couldn't and was forced to watch him. I kept telling my mind that it was just a hallucination, but it was a lot more vivid than any other hallucination that I had ever had. Then in a split second, he was gone. I calmed myself, thinking it's all going to be over soon now. My fear started to rise when I heard the noise of clanging in the kitchen. Did he break into my house?
Do you want a snack? You could have just asked
I
me.
was
would've
getting
made you some.
paranoid. I couldn't move. I strained my eyes to try to see the bedroom door through the darkness, and I could see something. A figure standing on the other side of my bedroom door. He slowly opened the door. It was the boy. I could hear every footstep he made. He continued to creep towards my bed, and I could see his devilish grin from the corner of my eye. He just stood there for minutes, and it was lasting longer than any sleep paralysis I had ever experienced. I felt that I was about to die. I was just praying it would be over soon. My prayers were answered, and I was finally able to move again.
Thank God.
The boy was gone. The next morning when I woke up, I felt something strange as I walked on the carpet. The carpet was soaking wet. And at that point, it hit me. Was it really a hallucination? Or did someone actually come into my room last night? I shared this incident with some of the neighbors, and it turns out there was a spooky story about the pond near my new house. Back in 1947, a group of kids were playing on the banks of the pond. One boy accidentally tripped over a log and fell into the water. Before any of the other children could react, the boy sank beneath the water surface. For a few moments, they waited for him to resurface, but there was no sign of him. Horrified, they ran back to the village to get help. Some local men came as fast as they could and dived into the pond, searching for the young boy. They were terrified by what they found. The boy was sitting on a rock at the very bottom of the pond.
He just
His
jumped.
arms were hanging down by his sides, and his body was swaying back and forth with the currents. His eyes were wide, and his mouth was hanging open, but he was dead in the water. The eerie sight sent shivers down the spines of the men who had dived in to save him. They were deeply disturbed and said it was such an unusual way to drown. It was as if the boy had calmly sat down on the rock and waited there to die. Ever since, bizarre rumors began to spread around the area. Many villagers believed that the ghost of the drowned boy lurked beneath the deep waters of the pond. They said that at night he would come to the surface cold, wet, and shivering, his icy hands clutching at unsuspecting victims and trying to pull them into his watery grave. According to the rumors, he was trapped in this world by accident, and the only way he could escape was to find someone else to take his place at the bottom of the pond. As I mentioned before, I don't really believe in the paranormal, but that creeped the hell out of me. After that, I put my house up for sale as I am no longer able to sleep peacefully in this house. A strange, eerie feeling always keeps me restless. But unfortunately, so far no one has come to view the house or made any offers, as it was famous for being haunted. My current situation does not allow me to rent a house, so I am stuck here. I just hope I am able to get out of this place.
I feel like wouldn't people want to buy it more? Jesus Christ. That was scary. Let's read what people had to say. I'd also be scared as fuck if I saw James Charles at my window in the middle of the night like that. That's mean. Who the F leaves their curtains open when they sleep? I do, sometimes. The scariest part for me was the snowstorm in Hawaii part. That's what I said. I said, when is there snow in Hawaii? The psychopath I met on Tinder still haunts me. Now I know y'all can relate to this.
I met a guy on Tinder, and we really started to hit it off. We'd been chatting for a few weeks and even discovered we had a few mutual friends. I was pretty intoxicated one night, was feeling social, and decided to drive to his place to meet him for the first time. Once I got there, we talked outside for a while and ended up vibing even better in person. I opened up to him about my health problems, and he opened up to me about his older sister, who had just passed away from a similar condition to mine. I was curious about his sister, but I definitely didn't want him to be uncomfortable, so I didn't want to ask too much about her. We walked into his house, and it smelled like 1,000 dead rats were rotting under the floorboard.
Goddamn.
I was still pretty drunk,
That's just
so
my cologne,
I
baby.
tried to forgive it because, hey, sometimes animals die under a house or in the walls,
What?
and there's nothing you can really do about it.
Girl, I know you're on Tinder, but set your standards a little bit higher than that, okay? If I go into a house, it smells like dead rats, I'm out.
I start to look around,
Oh my
and
Jesus.
the whole
Lord
house looks
have
like
mercy.
a cluttered storage unit. He takes me to his room, which is
Okay,
seemingly
let's go.
normal, but I was so drunk that as soon as I hit the bed, I fell asleep. I woke up around 10 a.m., feeling very sober, and started to look around the room. I noticed
Sobered up?
that only girls' clothes were hung in his closet. I started to assume I've possibly been cheated with. Then I see a giant black binder on his nightstand. When he woke up, I decided to jokingly ask him, "What's in that giant binder?" Turns out it was every single episode of Golden Girls printed out. He said he read it at work, and it's the only show he'll ever watch. It was his sister's favorite show, and they both used to watch it together. I asked him what he did for work, something I definitely should have known by this point, and he dodged the question.
Hold on, sis. Hold on, sis. You telling me that you went to this man's house drunk as shit, fell asleep in his bed, and you don't know where this man works? Do you even know his last
He sat
name?
up
This is how you
and
get
looked
kidnapped.
at the pillow I'd been
Ew, what
cozily
is that?
sleeping on.
Blood.
It had no pillowcase and was covered what looked to be old blood. It looked like that the blood had been coughed onto it.
Oh.
I started putting the unpleasant pieces together and asked as sensitively as I could,
Bitch, they're so sensitive. Get the hell out.
"Hey, was this your sister's room? I noticed the
this your
clothes in the
sister?
closet."
What?
Yeah, and this is her bed. I haven't changed or washed anything. It just makes me feel better to be in her bed. This is actually where I held her when she died. And you remind me so much of her. I really, really like you.
Yo, you coming on too strong.
At that
Please chill.
point, I felt really sorry for him, and I had no idea that he was so close to his sister. It seemed that he was suffering a lot and clearly needed help. He then slowly started coming close to me and casually
Okay.
tried to hook up with me. I was feeling very uncomfortable at that point, so I pushed him away.
I would
Doing
do
so,
this.
my phone fell on the floor. I bent down to grab my phone. Under the bed
Oh
was
my
the rotten corpse of his dead sister, staring right at me.
Get out.
I
Get
wanted
out
to
now.
scream really loud,
Oh my God.
but I kept quiet. I have no idea how I controlled my fear and pretended that everything was normal.
Sis, run.
I reached for my bag to quickly use my inhaler. He kept staring at me. There was a weird smile on his face, and he told me that his sister used to have one of those.
Oh God.
My mind was racing to think of ways to get out of there. I asked him if he could get a glass of water for me. He said all right and went to the kitchen to grab a glass of water for me. As soon as he went to the kitchen, I grabbed my bag and got out of there.
Go. Okay, good. See, this is why you don't mess with Tinder.
As I was driving off, I could hear him screaming, standing at the door, that why was I leaving?
'Cause you're
I was
crazy.
just glad that I escaped. I immediately called the police and told everything. Few days after, I found out that he was arrested for keeping the corpse of his sister
and was later moved to the mental hospital. To this day, his sister's dead face gives me sleepless nights.
Boy. Okay, you got me with that one. I hope you enjoyed that. Hit that like button if you like these videos, if you want to see more of this. Leave me a comment. What was the scariest part of the video? Like, what gave you some chills? Because right now I feel kind of sick. That one was kind of disgusting. But I hope you subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.